Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is my take on a vegan spicy chicken sandwich. I am using tofu for my chicken. I've frozen this tofu. When you freeze it, it has a firmer texture, a more shredded texture that will mimic a chicken texture. So what I've done is froze it overnight and then thawed it. I squeezed out all of the liquid, and then now it'll be ready to soak up any marinades. So this I am using for the marinade or a brine. I'm using vegetarian base, mushroom seasoning, and onion powder. If you don't have that mushroom seasoning, you can use any other mushroom seasoning or mushroom powder. And then to that I am adding about a half a cup of almond milk. And then to my almond milk mixture, I add in a capful or a teaspoonful of apple cider vinegar. The apple cider vinegar will make the almond milk into like a buttermilk. It will take on that kind of flavor and act as a buttermilk. So once I put that in, you can see it curdles just a tiny bit. But I mix this in. And you can do that with any plant milk that you want to make into a buttermilk. So next up, I'll set my marinade aside and get my tofu ready. If you're doing like a popcorn chicken or nuggets, you can tear this into smaller pieces. I want bigger pieces because I'm trying to do a patty for a sandwich. So I just kind of follow the natural tears so that I'm not shredding it up too much. Okay, so now my tofu is ready, and as you can see, it's like a sponge, so it's gonna soak up that marinade really easily. You don't want to skip this step because otherwise you'll just have plain tasting tofu underneath your breading. So make sure you do this step for sure. Once those are in the marinade, I start making my glaze. And I am making for my spicy chicken, I'm using a Nashville type of sauce or type of glaze, which has cayenne pepper as, you know, the base, as the big part of the flavor. So I don't have cayenne, so I'm using this Red Beers. As you can see, the ingredients has a lot of cayenne in this chili sauce. So I'm using this along with about 3 tablespoons of butter. And then I am also using some maple syrup to bring in some sweetness with that heat. And to this I will also add a little bit of garlic powder and then also some dry rub. You don't have to use dry rub. I'm using it because it has the smoked paprika in there. You can just use smoked paprika to really give it another sweet, smoky feeling to your sauce. So I mix this all up, and once the marinade is mixed, I sit it on the oven, not on a burner, but just to get that heat going, to kind of let the marinade melt down. Here you can see it's really still together and buttery, but if you sit it in the heat, you can really get a nice melted glaze. So while that's sitting, I then go to fry up the tofu. If you have a fryer, use that. I don't, so I'm just using some oil, canola oil over high heat, and in my flour is a little bit of sea salt, but not too much because my brine has quite a bit of seasoning in it already. Fry it up till golden brown, and you can see here it has great texture, great flavor because of that brine, but look at the texture, is amazing. So then there's my melted glaze. And I'm just gonna pop the tofu in there and get it all coated If you are serving this with like nuggets or your popcorn chicken, you can just serve your glaze on the side. I'm dipping mine in so I can make that delicious spicy chicken sandwich. I keep it simple because the glaze you have on there has so much flavor, and also that brine we used. So I keep it simple with some vegan mayo, some crispy green lettuce, and then to top it all off, I use some pickles. This just really goes good with the spiciness of the tofu. And that is it. I hope you enjoy it. You know, this is your spicy chicken sandwich, cruelty free. You don't have to stand in line for it. You can make it at home and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video.